Hi, this video is going to cover solving equations with fractions. So the learning goals for this video are to be able to eliminate fractions in an equation by multiplication, and then to solve equations by using opposite operations. So we're going to solve the same equation twice using slightly different methods, but they're very similar. So let's just take a look here. We have an equation x over 5 minus 3 is equal to 7. Now normally what we do is we want to eliminate whatever is adding or subtracting with the variable first. So that's what we'll do. I see x is being subtracted by 3, so we're going to add 3 to both sides. So the 3's here will cancel out, leaving us with x over 5 is equal to 7 plus 3 makes 10. Now, x is being divided by 5, so to undo that, we are going to multiply by 5. Right? Because multiplying and dividing are opposite operations. Now these 5's are going to divide out, so I'm left with x, and that's equal to 10 times 5 here is 50. So we're going to solve the same equation, but instead of adding first and then multiplying, we're going to eliminate the fraction first by multiplying. So this is what it would look like. If I multiply by 5, I have to multiply every term by 5 as well. Okay, so that's a key here. The first step here is multiply each term by 5. And we pick 5 because that is what the denominator is. Now the 5's are going to divide out here. So let's see what's left. That becomes just x. Now we have to multiply here though. So negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. That's equal to 7 times 5 is 35. Now here x is being subtracted by 15, so to undo that I'm going to add 15 so that x is isolated here, so those 15's will cancel out. X is equal to 35 plus 15 is 50. So you see we get the same answer, we just change the order a little bit about what we do. But the main idea here is that we got rid of the fraction at the very beginning. And that's going to make things a lot easier, especially when we do more complicated equations with fractions. So the key for this video and this idea is to rid ourselves of fractions in equations. What we're going to do is we just multiply each term by the denominator of the fraction. Okay, so that's going to be our go-to step throughout the video. So let's take a look at these equations. So here I see a fraction where the denominator is again 5. So I'm going to try to get rid of that first. So I'm going to multiply by 5, and I have to multiply each term by 5. Okay. Now the whole point of that is so that this 5 and that 5 in the denominator will divide out. So let's write what's left. This is just 4x now, plus, now 5 times 7 is 35. And that's equal to 10 times 5 is 50. So you see now we have an equation where there's no fractions anymore, and it becomes a two-step equation. So 4x plus 35, so I need to get rid of that plus 35, so I'm going to subtract 35 on both sides. That will subtract out. So 4x is equal to 50 take away 35 is 15. Now 4 times x is over there, so I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides. That way the 4's will divide out. So x is equal to 15 over 4. And we'll leave it at that. Let's take a look at the second equation here. I see it has a fraction with a 3 as a denominator. So I'm going to multiply, let's change the color up. I'm going to multiply every term by 3. Okay, because 3 is the denominator of this fraction. Now again, the point of this is so that that 3 and the 3 at the denominator are going to divide out. Alright, so let's multiply and see what's left. So 3 times 15 is 45. 3 times 9 is 27. So 45 equals 27 minus 7x. Okay, so now again, no more fractions. So now we have to isolate x on this side. So I'm going to get rid of that 27 first. So we're going to subtract 27 on both sides. So over here on the left, 45 take away 27 is 18, and that's equal to, now that's been subtracted out. Here we have minus 7x. All right, last step, we're going to divide both sides by -7. So those will divide out. So x is equal to 18 over -7. So I'm going to put the negative on the side here. So it's -18 over 7. Okay, so the point or the big idea here is that we're getting rid of the fraction by first multiplying by the denominator. Okay, so I'd like you to try this question here by first eliminating the fraction. So you see a 4 as a denominator, so multiply to get rid of it. Okay, take a look at the examples here, pause the video, give it a shot, and then when you're ready to take up the answer, just press play. Good luck. Okay, so the 4 is the denominator, so we're going to multiply everything by 4 so we can get rid of it. Right? This 4 and this 4 will divide out. Okay, so let's write down what we have after all the multiplication. 4 times 10 is 40. That's equal to 4 times 3 is 12, and minus 5a. Okay, no more fractions. That's the good thing. Now I got to isolate the a, so I'm going to get rid of this 12 here first. I'm going to subtract 12 on both sides. So 40 minus 12 is 28 is equal to, remember that's gone, so I'm left with minus 5a. Now we're going to isolate a. We're going to divide by -5. So those -5s will divide out. So the final answer here, we'll say it's -28 over 5 is equal to a. All right, so what happens if we have fractions and brackets? Well, we do the exact same thing. We're going to get rid of the fraction first by multiplication. Now, because this is these two expressions are multiplying, this is really one giant term. So we're going to wrap the entire expression here like this in a bracket, and then we're going to multiply by the denominator here, which is 2. Now, don't forget, we got to do that to both sides. The whole point of this is that the 2 and that 2 are going to divide out. So let's write down what we have left. This becomes 3 times the quantity 4x minus 5 is equal to 15 times 2 is 30. Okay, so now we've got an equation with a bracket, but there's no fractions left. So you can actually go about this in two different ways. You can divide first by 3 on both sides, or if you want to have a little bit of fun, you can multiply into the bracket. Let's do that. Yeah, so the whole point is to get rid of the brackets. You can either divide or you can multiply in. So this becomes 12x minus, so 3 times 5 is 15, and that's equal to 30. Okay, so this is 12x minus 15, so I got to get rid of that minus 15 first. So I'm going to do the opposite, which is adding 15. So that's gone. So we have 12x is equal to 45. Now this is 12 times x, so we have to divide by 12 to undo it. Those 12s will divide out. So x is equal to 45 over 12. Now, be careful, you might be able to reduce a fraction. So in this case, we can. We can divide the top and the bottom by 3. So the numerator is actually 15, and the denominator is 4. Okay. All right, you try this one now. So the first thing that we did here was we removed the denominator through multiplication. So you try the same thing over here, and then you're going to need to multiply in to remove the brackets. Okay, so anyway, give it a shot, pause the video, and then press play when you're ready to check your work. Good luck. All right, let's use blue. So the first thing is you should get rid of the denominator by multiplying by 3. So then that way they'll divide out. So we've got 2 bracket 5x minus 1 is equal to 8 times 3. That's 24. Okay, so here you can multiply in to remove the brackets. So that'll get you 10x minus 2 is equal to 24. Okay. So 10x minus 2, so I've got to get rid of that minus 2 first by adding 2, so that'll be canceled out. So let's write down what we have left. That's 10x is equal to 26. Now to get rid of that 10 that's multiplying with x, we divide. So we're going to divide by 10. Those will divide out. So x is equal to 26 over 10. Now here you can actually still, you can reduce again. You can divide the top and the bottom by 2. So that'll get us 13 over 5. All right, the last thing that we're going to look at is what happens if there's two fractions. Now it's fine, we do the exact same thing. Okay, so the only difference is that we got to do it twice because we got two different fractions with two different denominators. So we're going to have to do two sets of multiplication. So let's take a look at this example. 2 over 3x plus 1 over 5 is equal to 4. So I need to get rid of both the 3 and the 5. So I mean, we can do it through one multiplication, but let's just break it down into something that we've been able to do throughout the video. Okay, so we're going to multiply each one, or each term, by 3. Okay, so I can get rid of the 3 in the denominator here. All right, so those 3's will divide out. So we're left with 2x plus, now 3 times 1 over 5. So we're multiplying a whole number with a fraction. Now if you're unsure how to do that, okay, we'll just focus very quickly on this. So 3 times 1 over 5, to multiply a fraction, so 3 is really 3 over 1. And to multiply a fraction, all we do is we multiply the numerators together. So that's 3 times 1 is 3. And then we multiply the denominators together. So that's 1 times 5 is 5. Okay? Now another way of looking at it is 3 times 1 over 5. You just multiply the whole number with the numerator and then leave the denominator the same. Okay? So anyway, so this becomes 3 over 5. And that's equal to 4 times 3 is 12. Okay? Here, I'm just going to, okay, that's a little side work. All right, so after that, we have just gotten rid of one fraction. We still need to get rid of the other one. So we're going to do the same thing because 5 is the denominator now that we want to get rid of. We're going to multiply everything by 5. Okay, that way these 5's will divide out, and we're going to multiply to see what's left. So 5 times 2x is 10x plus 3 equals 60. Now again, this is just a two-step equation. So 10x minus 3, I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides. That way those will cancel out. So we have 10x is equal to 57. The last step now is we're going to divide by 10. So I'm going to write up here, x, those 10's will divide out. X is equal to 57 over 10. And that's our final answer. All right, so you're going to try this one here, where you're going to get rid of one of the fractions first, okay, either the 4 or the 3, it doesn't actually matter, through multiplication. So pause the video, give this question a shot, and when you want to see how you did, just press play. Okay, good luck. All right, let's get rid of the 4 in the denominator here first. So we're going to multiply every term by 4. Okay? That way this 4 and the 4 in the denominator divide out. So let's see what's left. So this is just 7a plus, now 4 times 2 over 3. Remember, we can just multiply the whole number with only the numerator and leave the denominator alone. So 4 times 2 over 3 is 8 over 3. And that's equal to 5 times 4, that's 20. So we've gotten rid of one fraction, we got to get rid of the other one. So I see a 3 as a denominator, so I'm going to multiply every term now by 3. Okay. These 3's will divide out. So this is 3 times 7a, so that's 21a plus 8 is equal to 60. All right, so now we just need to solve this equation. So 21a plus 8, so I'm going to minus 8 on both sides. So those will subtract out. So I'm left with 21a is equal to 52. And then last step, we're going to divide both sides by 21. So those 21's will divide out. So a is equal to 52 over 21. I think that's reduced. Yeah. All right. The last thing before we wrap up is I'd like you to try one of these two questions. We've covered a lot on how to solve an equation with a fraction. So If you're still unsure and if you're still kind of figuring it out, try this question over here. If you feel like you really understand what we're doing, try the harder one over here, okay? But I'd like you to try one of the two at least. So pause the video, and then when you're ready to see how you did, just press play. You can try both if you'd like, okay? Anyway, pause the video, try one or both, and then press play to see how you did. Good luck. All right, I'm going to take both up really quickly. So the 3 is the denominator here that I want to get rid of. So we're going to multiply each term by 3. Now these 3's will divide out. That's the point. So 2a is what's left, minus 3 times 4 is 12 is equal to 5 times 3 is 15. Here it's 2a minus 12, so I'm going to add 12 to both sides so that those will cancel out. So 2a is equal to 15 plus 12 is 27. Now this is 2 times a, so to get rid of the 2, I'm going to divide. That way those 2's will divide out. So a is equal to 27 over 2. All right, for this one, we got to get rid of both the 3 and the 2. So let's get rid of the 3 first. So let's multiply every term by 3. All right, so 3 times 13 is 39, and that's equal to, now these 3's will divide out, right? So we got 5x left over, and 3 over 2 times 3. So remember, we just multiply the numerator with the whole number, so that'll get us minus 9 over 2. So we've got one more fraction, so we're going to get rid of that one. I see it's a 2 on the bottom, so I'm going to multiply every term by 2. So 2 times 39 is 78 is equal to 2 times 5x, that's 10x, minus, remember these 2's divide out, so that's just 9. All right, so we're going to focus our attention on this side because x is over here. It's 10x minus 9, so we're going to add 9 to both sides of the equation. So over here, that'll give me 87 is equal to 10x, and that's gone. So that's it. And last step, we're going to divide by 10. So those 10's will divide out. So x is isolated. That's equal to 87 over 10. All right. So the big idea for this video is you're multiplying to remove a denominator. Now you can either do it once if there's only one fraction, or if there's 2 fractions, you got to do it twice. Okay. So hopefully this video has made solving equations with fractions pretty clear. Thanks very much for watching.